Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, May 3rd, 2024 at 3:40 a.m. in the morning. So guess what? Um, that Uber driver lady did give me bed bugs. So that's like the fourth, the fourth time I ever that I've gotten since being back in New Orleans. The fourth time I got caught bed bugs from like DoorDash or Uber or whatever. So I think the first two times it was DoorDash, and then the third time I think was an Uber driver. I mean Uber Eats, and then this time another DoorDash. So and I feel upset because I gave that lady a $8 tip. No, I mean, because I know I'm getting paid today with my Social Security check. So I gave her an $8 tip. Um, and like my gut instinct was telling me not to because I figured, well, what if she might be a perp? And so even though she had a blue car, she didn't act like a perp, and I didn't see any marks or whelps on her or anything like that. So, I didn't see any marks or, bites or anything on her. But, um, so remember I told y'all that my twin sister, recently condemned me for ordering DoorDash and lied on me and falsely accused me of ordering DoorDash every single day or eating from DoorDash every single day. And that's not true. A lot of times I don't even have the funds. So, um, excuse me. And a lot of times I have to be forced to spend time on the streets when my funds run out, and I mainly only order DoorDash or Uber Eats or something, when I need to. But like I ordered, as I said, I told y'all in a previous video the things that I ordered, and I was in pain and sick and not feeling well. Excuse me. Excuse me. And a lot of the times, sometimes I might order Uber Eats or DoorDash because I just don't feel like. I mean, for me to try to get some mental downtime, and try to get a break from being heavily bombarded with so much gang stalking activity, you know. So, I mean, I don't even know if that was supposed to be a lesson to never order DoorDash again, but fuck y'all. I don't have to obey y'all. Hold on right quick. Okay, I'm back. I went to blow my nose. I don't even know if that's the noise from if that's the garbage truck or something. So yeah, I think I may have gotten like less than 2 hours of sleep probably, or I don't remember having any sleep. But I ended up with bed bug bites like all on the left side of my face, like from my ear all the way to like right here, and you know, me using the rubbing alcohol, um, all the whelps and stuff, it made the inflammation and the whelps go down. You know, so like, ain't this about a bitch? Excuse me. And now that's a next like an extra expense I have to worry about to buy the things necessary to battle and fight to get rid of the bed bugs. You know, so Um, but excuse me, and it's like I think my like my shoulders and my chest had been like itching and my legs and stuff too. But excuse me. Now I'm glad I have the knowledge and the solution of how to get rid of them. Sometimes it takes a big fight. Excuse me, and persistence and consistency. Um, to be persistent and consistent with fighting to battle, to get rid of the bed bugs. So like, you know, when I thought my day was a nearly perfect day, her giving me bed bugs like ruined and fucked up my whole damn day. Excuse me. And then after that, excuse me. And I had more bed bugs on my left arm, bites or whatever on my left arm. And so now I can't even go back to sleep, or I can't even really sleep, you know. So another day of sleep deprivation. So as I was doing the previous video talking about how I thought that I really had a almost perfect day. Um but and then I showed y'all the community post about the perp that made the fake harassing comment. I have proof of my college degree and high school diploma, and y'all still falsely call it fake. A fake college degree. No, that's legit and authentic. Excuse me. But slightly before graduating, the fake foster sister held face Shelly and that fake ETX Yellow Rose perp on Yahoo Answers. That was like the Yahoo Answers version of Starbreaker. Um, they both would bully and harass me and tell me that my college degree means nothing. Well, after a while, I realized it doesn't mean anything, or that in God's eyes, I realized that having a college degree doesn't mean anything, and me being targeted, the college degree doesn't mean anything, you know, because they damn sure lied to me and said that if I get a college degree, then I would be guaranteed good jobs and good money. And I found out college is a big scam. Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. So, I mean, I feel like agitated and bothered enough that I felt the need to come on here and do a video. You know, since I mean I can't even sleep, and but I have now that I have a hotel room. I have access to taking a shower, and since I just got paid, well, no, not yet. The funds didn't kick in yet. Um, they'll kick in a couple of hours. I mean, a couple of hours. Maybe in 1 hour. Who knows? Wait, you know what? Maybe within 30 minutes or so. Maybe within 30 minutes. So, you know, if I end up with bed bugs, I usually I was taking showers with peppermint oil soap. But I hate the cool feeling that the peppermint soap leaves on my body, and people say peppermint oil soap is the most effective at getting rid of bed bugs, but I experienced that for me, the lavender oil soap is more effective and more powerful at quickly getting rid of the bed bugs. That and the rubbing alcohol, you know. Excuse me. So if I like shower twice a day and keep constantly spraying the bed with either the oil plus the oil mixed with water or um the rubbing alcohol and washing my clothes with the lavender oil soap. You know that helps. If I keep on spraying and spraying, and taking showers like twice a day, then I can quickly get rid of them. You know, but like when I was living in Los Angeles, well, let me back up. Like when we were little kids, you hear people say, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. And some people thought it was just a fairy tale. So in 2006, when I was at the mental health shelter in New York, was the first, no, um, I think the foster cousin Corey's fake wife Nikki, um, I think when we were 9 years old or something, I heard her mention about bed bugs or something. But in foster care, we never, ever, ever, ever had bed bugs ever. But the fake foster mom Adrian Felder, she tried to say that after Wyatt and Mark left the foster home, then you know she ended up not having roaches anymore. But like when we were little, they used to have a lot of roaches in that house. But she said after getting rid of Wyatt and Mark, well, after they left, um, you know, well, Mark turned 18 and he was still living with the foster mom. And I remember that summer, he was 18 going on 19. And the foster mom called the police and reported him for a runaway. And he was a grown adult. And I remember that I think it was Saturday, July 31st, uh, 1992. It was a few months before the foster dad, Al, died. And Mark left to go back to the biological mom, Frances. You know, and there have been moments where after we turned 18, the foster mom and other people in society try to make like, oh, if you go somewhere when your foster mom doesn't know where you at, then you ran away. I'm like, how can I if I'm 18 and 19 and 20 years old? They're like, oh, but you're still living underneath her roof and you should follow her rules. And I'm like, well, if I'm way in California, like, how do you, like, you know, like, mind your business? You know, how do you know my situation and you're in California or you're traveling on a Greyhound bus with me, So, but anyway, but yeah, but the foster mom used to use us as cleanup slaves, you know, and the foster mom used to bomb the house a lot, would like raid, and she would like bomb the house and then have us to vacate the house and we go somewhere, um, I forgot what places we would go to, but um, she would like it would be like a Saturday or something, and you know, she would bomb the house multiple times. Throughout the years, she had bombed the house with the raid or whatever roach stuff. You know, but after a certain age, I guess we didn't really see roaches anymore. You know, but excuse me, the foster mom using us as cleanup slaves and traumatizing and terrifying me, with harsh punishments and abuse and everything. That's one of the reasons why and how I ended up with OCD. You know, um, and then if my depression will overpower my OCD symptoms, the fake abusive narcissistic fake mental health people will question and try to make it like as if I'm hypocritical or not making sense. Well, oh, your house is a cluttered mess. How do you have OCD? That doesn't make any sense. Well, you got me on psych meds that make me too depressed to get out of bed. When it's supposed to be antidepressants that make you more depressed, you know. So, but you know, um, but yeah, growing up in foster care, we never had bed bugs ever, and so yeah, well, we were 9 years old, and the foster cousin Corey's wife Nikki mentioned about you know, if we don't wash our bed sheets every week, we will end up with bed bugs. But we were 9-year-old kids. What did we know about washing bed sheets every week? The foster mom didn't enforce that rule, that one. You know, but but then I mean in 2006, after Hurricane Katrina, when I went to New York and was in that mental health shelter, you know, they had some um little workshop or something where we ended up being informed and educated about bed bugs. And um like they had this man that was a neighbor of mine, and I think his uncle or something used to harass me. His uncle was another neighbor who used to harass me and gang stalk me. And the uncle, that fake Herman guy, was an abusive narcissistic perp that used to make sexual advances at me. And if I didn't feed into what he wanted, he would bully, harass, and threaten me, and blast sicko R. Kelly's music very loud all day, every day. And then you know, and so that Herman guy's nephew, I don't remember his real name, but I just remember his nickname was Batty, like Baddie, and I forgot what his real name was. But the Batty guy, I asked him like, "What are those marks on your arms or whatever?" And he said, "Oh, they're bed bugs or whatever." He said it like it was if it was no big deal. But he helped me like move my furniture out shortly before I left Denton, Texas, and I was forced to have to just abandon the place and leave everything behind. But I don't think that ruined or lowered my credit score. But when I was forced to have to abandon my place in Los Angeles, it lowered my credit score by nearly 70 points, you know. And I went into a situation where I talked about, what the fake landlord in Los Angeles did. But anyway, I ended up homeless in 2011, but fortunately, I did not catch bed bugs from that baddie guy, you know. But I think it was 2012 or 2013 was the first time I ever experienced bed bugs for myself. And then, like, I went to the fake Hell's Way church. And I don't think it was the first day, but maybe it was after a couple of visits at the fake Hell's Way church when I met David Jane. You know, I asked him, what are those marks on your arms? And he had like an embarrassed or shamed look and said that they were bed bugs. Oh, no, 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 no. This is what happened. Um, when I asked him, what are those marks on your arms? And he said, oh, I scratch. He's like, he had like an very embarrassed, shameful look. And he said, oh, I scratch. And so then I'm like, oh, okay. But I never really saw him scratch. Oh yeah, later on afterwards I saw him scratch. But excuse me, and then they had that pedophile guy named Shavasa or whatever. I'm not sure if the Shavasa guy was Jewish or something like that. And he was like, "Who, Bedbug David?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's what that is," you know. But um, but yeah, I think 2012 was the first time I ever caught bed bugs living in Los Angeles. But they had so many people in Los Angeles that had been like bed bug infested, homeless or not. So off and on throughout the few years of living in Los Angeles, I ended up being like hopeless, being and feeling hopeless and suicidal. You know, about getting rid of the bed. I mean, about feeling hopeless about not being able to get rid of the bed bugs. Then diatomaceous earth, it takes longer than the freaking essential oils like the lavender or peppermint oil. Diatomaceous earth, it works, but it takes longer. Um, it works, but it takes longer to get, like, it takes about 2 weeks to get for the diatomaceous earth to get 2 or 3 weeks for the diatomaceous earth to get rid of the bed bugs, you know. Excuse me, but sometimes with the and people say bed bugs don't like heat, so if I take 2 hot showers per day and clean all my clothes in hot water and have a hot dryer to dry my clothes and keep on spraying, the bed or whatever. Like um even if I use the essential oils and mix it with water and just spray, um it takes like a few days for like with the essential oils and stuff. So I don't even know how badly infested that lady was, But in 2018, not 17, but I had a series of moments where off and on I would end up you know being excuse me being devastated by bed bugs. And sometimes it'd be like from freaking riding a bus, like when I was in Los Angeles. But they had this homeless druggie when I was living in Jefferson, Shrewsbury, and and she was bed bug infested and walking near me, but she was like a gap of a distance away from me, and I walked past her without her being close to or touching me, and I still caught the damn bed bugs. And I'm like, damn, it must have been the wind that flew her bed bugs onto me. You know, um, and I, I pretty much suffered, and don't know if I nearly damn near killed myself with you know it seemed like I damn near killed myself. Well, I don't know if I could have died, but I suffered, you know, um, using like a large amount of peppermint oil soap, and like mop the floor of my whole apartment, and just cleaned and sanitized down everything. And I mean, and I've had moments where whether it be too much lavender or too much peppermint oil, um if it feel like my organs are about to split apart, you know, excuse me. So it seemed like I damn near killed myself trying to get rid of those bed bugs. But after dealing with her, I successfully, I mean, after I mopped the house, with the and I was kind of new at doing that. So and then one time I went to Ramona's house or somewhere up in that area in 2018, and coming back, I rode one of, I think it was the Desire bus, when it used to be like the route number 80 Desire Louisa, but I'm not sure what the route is now, since they changed everything. And coming back, I caught bed bugs on a bus like a couple of times in 2018, and it seems like a hellish battle with bed bugs. But then, um, like dealing with Ramona, she caught bed bugs in 2018, and then after she caught them, and then she refused to want to get rid of them, and she would have her and the biological mom Francis, when the biological mom Francis was alive, like they would have like their houses like full of roaches and everything, you know. Excuse me. And that was one thing, like after we came back from foster care and everything, and I saw that the biological mom Francis had so many roaches in her house, you know, and she got offended at me, pointing that out. And then in 2003, I think it was after Belinda died, and it was over the summer 2003, and Ramona, like me and Ramona had like a heated argument because I tried to not be offensive with saying I didn't feel comfortable with using her bathroom, and I just made up an excuse saying that the bathroom was too small. But it wasn't about the bathroom being too small. Her house had like too many fucking roaches. And Ramona would have more roaches in her house than the biological mom Francis would, you know. And that Kraft family, if they're supposed to be rich enough to afford Lincoln Town Car and Lincoln Navigators, if they had a foul smelling house with a bunch of just freaking roaches everywhere, you know. So and like when I was living in Denton, Texas, a couple of times I had bad roach infestations, um and I heard that like sometimes if you're targeted and you leave on vacation or somewhere, or if you end up um being like hospitalized, the perps will enter your house and plant um roaches, rats, or whatever, and that's exactly what they did. Um, they did that to me, and I didn't even know I was being gang stalked. But the fake mental health people, they scapegoated and blamed me, and wanted to use that to justify exercising more fake control over me. You know. So anyway, Ramona got mad at me for trying to help her to get rid of the bed bugs, and then 3 and 4 years later, me dealing with Sean and Wyatt telling me that Ramona still had bed bugs. And I'm like, that's a fucking shame. So that's one reason I can never go around Ramona anymore. And um I'm surprised that other family members still, I mean, they don't discriminate against her or refuse company around her with her filthy house and everything like that, if she always got great company at her house despite her house being so filthy. But if my apartment or house will be clean, but I would have really no visitors. Um, in Ramona, like the infestations of roaches and stuff would be so bad that we would be out in public and roaches are just like crawling out of her purse. But just like my twin sister, Ramona would try to talk like she thinks she got more common sense or more logic than I do, you know, and um and Mark's house would be no cleaner than mine, but Mark would try to copy off the fake foster mom with dishing out orders telling me what to do and how to have my house. And it's like, if you don't even care about me, why do you even care whether or not my windows are up or down? I'm the one who got to live here, not you. You don't pay shit to live here. You hate me so much you won't even let me drive your car. But you want to control how I have my house and everything and still treat me like I'm a fucking child. A punished child with no rights, you know. And Mark being abusive and controlling and stuff like that. But Mark, like when I was living in Denton, Texas, other than the perps planting roaches and stuff in my house, my apartment, I didn't even really have much of a roach problem. And then dealing with Mark, like I was able to see some roaches in Mark's house, or Mark's house wouldn't be that clean. And like when I came there in 2007, he treated me like as if he see me every day. Like, motherfucker, we haven't seen each other since before Katrina. And I was worried, sick, and afraid that you died or drowned or whatever. And I was having nightmares and unwanted intrusive thoughts. And then you see me in 2007 and you treat me like as if you just saw me yesterday. And then I'm in the house, not even come from out of town. I'm in the house for not even 5 minutes. You're already dishing out orders, telling me what to do and telling me do these chores and that chore, those chores or whatever. Didn't even give me a chance to rest from being like coming from the mental institution, traveling all the way from New York City to Denton, Texas, and you have like no fucking consideration at all. None. Excuse me. And then stealing my fucking money, using and taking advantage. And then when I stand up to him, he's like, "Oh, you want everybody to agree with you and you want everything free." Motherfucker, you just using projection because you will sit there and brag, like just like my twin sister when I was in 2000 there in 2017, dealing with them, like rubbing it in my face and bragging about all the freebies that they get. You know, like in 2017, my twin sister would kept rubbing it in my face and bragging about all the free objects in her house that she didn't have to pay for. Excuse me. So, but yeah, Mark would always rub it in my face about himself getting all this stuff for free and that stuff for free and stuff like that. But I don't it probably was Wyatt. But if it wasn't Wyatt, I don't remember what family member it was that said that Mark ended up with bed bugs and damn near wanted to kill himself. You know. But the family member sit there and call me crazy. But Ramona actually told me over the phone that she thinks bed bugs is no big deal. And then like in 2022, Wyatt was saying that he was being bitten up by bed bugs, and after he traveled to Milwaukee, he still was battling bed bugs from Ramona. And I was trying to tell him how to get rid of the bed bugs and stuff. But he kept ignoring all my text messages. And the fact that I was trying to educate him about the targeting, and he's freaking refused to read any of that. And I figured, well, because he's fucking illiterate. Excuse me. Or he probably refused to read it because he knows damn well that he's a perp. Just like my twin sister could educate herself about the targeting by looking at the links in the description box of my videos, but she, refuses to refuses to educate herself. But she knows that she's been perping me and stuff like that. You know. So anyway, I don't remember specifically, but on rare occasions. Wait, hold on. Let me back up though. So in 2018, I ended up after dealing with Ramona and stuff. I went to the Grand Canyon and was battling bed bugs and was hard to get rid of them. But the thing that freaking saved me was being homeless on the streets in Santa Monica, California, being stranded in LA. And after sleeping on the streets, like at the beach in the sand. And all it took was like 2 nights. And I was totally free of bed bugs. And I'm like, well, ain't that about a bitch? Excuse me, So, in 2017, when I first came back to New Orleans, right before getting that Section 8 housing, and I temporarily got a storage unit for a couple of days. And then, like I was spraying sanitize, the storage unit with the essential oils because of her and the freaking roaches. Excuse me, and I would end up overspraying too much, and my organs would be suffering, you know, because I sprayed too much. But that would be different from me being, suffering the targeting and the gang stalkers squeezing my organs. I don't even have to use any essential oil spray or anything like that, But, I fought tooth and nail to, like Ramona's infestation was so bad that roaches were getting into my belongings. And so, like, Ramona had the air conditioner on and the electricity, and she acted like she didn't want for me to come down there, but couldn't give me a straight, too cowardly to give me a straight answer that no, I don't want you down here. So what she did was she led me on to think it was okay for me to come down there um for a few days, and I even left her house to go stay at the fake Salvation Army shelter. They even have bed bugs over there. Excuse me. And roaches and stuff. They just don't give a fuck over there at the shelters. And then they'd be the first to get mad and say, don't spray no rubbing alcohol, or don't spray no this, don't spray no sanitizer, don't use any Lysol spray. Um, like as if they want to force you to be dirty, at the freaking shelters. And so then anyway, excuse me, so what Ramona did was she strategically waited for after I came down there to her house. That day later on, she got the electricity turned off on purpose. And then after I came down there, like, y'all gonna tell me she ain't a perp? Yeah, she deliberately, turned the electricity off. And the roach infestation wasn't that bad. But when I shopped at Whole Foods and stuff, and Ramona couldn't lecture and condemn me, talking about me wasting money or whatever, and I'm a grown adult, it's none of her business anyway. You know, um, so she condemned me for striving to eat natural. But in 2015, during the argument, she stuffed her face with 4 huge pieces of cake that she wasn't entitled to, and invited herself into a birthday party that she wasn't entitled to. Or that she wasn't invited. I mean, invited to. I meant to say, and she stuffed her face with 4 huge pieces of cake while simultaneously hypocritically calling me fat and greedy. And then she's like, so at least I wasn't fat when I was your age. And I said, yes, you were 32 years old and fat. She's like, oh, that's because I had kids. I would demonstrate how she said it, but I don't want to, I'm keeping a normal tone. I don't want to raise my voice because it's the middle of the night. Um, so, excuse me. So, you know, and that was during the time when she beat me up and put bruises on me. Not that night, but I think it was the next day or something. And I was wondering, is Ramona trying to kill me? You know, and it was scary being around her. But anyway, in 2017, she strategically waited for after I came down there, and then later on that day, she turned off the electricity, and there was hardly any roaches. And then after a while, it was like trillions of roaches, to the point it was pathetic and ridiculous. And that was when she was still living at 2027 North, what they call Russia Blade Street or whatever. Like she was living like a couple of blocks away from drunk lady, or a few blocks away from drunk lady Yvonne. You know, um, before she moved to the Ninth Ward. And now I don't even know where Ramona lives, if she still lives at that place or if she moved somewhere. Um, but I haven't seen or heard from Ramona since being back here, which is odd and unusual, for me to live in New Orleans and, have no contact with family, but it's better for me. But, you know, but in 2017, Raymond and this alcoholic female friend, they illegally had, and they were trying to keep it secret from me and made it like it was none of my business, but they illegally turned the electricity back on for free some kind of way illegally. And then Raymond, he turned the electricity, he turned the electricity back off, and then as a way to punish Ramona, his own mom. And I had nothing to do with it and didn't know about it, but he walked around and talking about, oh, y'all want to live comfortable, like with vicious hate anger. Y'all want to live comfortable. And then, they were arguing and fussing and fighting. Not physically fighting, but arguing and fussing. And then Raymond and Ramona's boyfriend, Elliot, got into a heated argument. And then 5 minutes later, they were back friendly with each other again. And I'm like, look at this fucking shit. But something small argument with me, oh, they'll grudge against me for 30 or 40 fucking years. Forever. Excuse me. And so then after I left out of Ramona's house and got my own apartment and got my own place, that's when Ramona magically got paid for, or got the electricity turned back on again. But maybe she had the electricity turned off on purpose as a way to slick talk and scam me out of more money. Because I think that was in 2010 when she pulled off a scam towards me, where she made it like as if she was at risk for her light bill being turned off. And then she pressured me and tricked me into going to the Energy place. And then she lied and said she needed the $300 or something. No, 300. She copied off my twin sister with cheating me out of $375. And so she lied and said that was how much she needed. She was copying off my twin sister with, scamming me out of $375. And then she tricked me. Come to find out, she kept that $375, and after she tried to say something about she didn't have to pay the $375, and she tricked me into going to fake Harris Casino, where I'm now wrongfully banned from. Excuse me. She tricked me into to go into Harris, and she took that entire $375 cash, and they had black guys trying to hit on her, young guys younger than me trying to hit on her and trying to get fresh with her and stuff. And I even saw like some underage kids, how they were let up in there. But Ramona, like before my eyes, it was like 3 something in the afternoon, and she took that money, the whole $375, and like spent it up in front of my face, like, and lost it all within less than 10 minutes. And in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, like in 2003 and 2004, me and her weren't getting along. But after she found out me having student loan money, and then she would you pretend to be fake nice and intimidate me out of my money and use and take advantage and like take $500 away from me, like manipulate or threaten me out of $500, and then spend it up. I mean, gamble it up within less than 10 minutes, and then tell me go get 500 more. And like in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, she forced me to be at the casino against her. I mean, against my will. She forced me to be at the casino for 13 hours. But she was gambling for 13 fucking hours. And I heard that she did that to her own daughter, Monica. And Monica supposedly said never again. But I don't know. It was a family rumor that I heard. Excuse me. So, and like, and Ramona in 2010, she lied and kept making false promises that she was gonna pay me back the 375, and then she kept making excuses. And then one time she lied and said that she got robbed, and she took money from me, the biological mom Frances, and the biological brother Sean. And she would use and take advantage of all of Sean's money, and then they would end up getting into fights, and she would make jail threats or have threats to have him locked up in a mental institution. And she would actually call the police on Sean and trying to make it like he's just behaving erratically. But motherfucker, you stole his damn money just to go gamble it up and have nothing. And Ramona would have a bunch of just useless junk in the house, cluttered with a whole bunch of filthy junk. Excuse me. A whole bunch of just nothing in her house. And I don't even know if she was considered a hoarder. But with my OCD, I was considered a hoarder. But you know, but I mean, my belongings would be protected from being filthy. I would have a lot of stuff, but my stuff wouldn't really be filthy. But Ramona would have like just a bunch of nothing in her house. Her house would be, you know, cluttered with a whole bunch of filthy, dirty nonsense. You know, excuse me. And so, like she manipulated for me, Sean, and the biological mom Frances to be like suicidal over her taking advantage of our money all at the same time. And the biological mom Frances ended up homeless on the streets, which was unusual for her. And then that's how the biological mom Frances ended up in the in that nursing home on Jefferson Highway, in which ended up leading to her demise. I mean, the biological mom Frances could have lived some time longer. So if anything, I think Ramona blood sacrificed the biological mom Frances. Fuck it, yeah, I said it. And she probably sacrificed Belinda too. But then again, I don't even know if the biological nephew John could have been the one to blood sacrifice Belinda. And then so many people talking about Ramona wanted to use me as a sacrifice. And my twin sister, she said that Derek was trying to tell her that Ramona was trying to sacrifice Sean for some insurance money, life insurance money. So yeah, Sean is a fucking targeted individual. Excuse me. And I don't even know if anybody blood sacrificed Blake. I don't know. I don't know if blood. I mean, if Blake was a blood sacrifice, and for who, I don't know. But the fact that he wore the color red shortly before his death, and that was the picture that they used for him. I don't even know if it was anybody from Blake's mom, which is my aunt, or Blake's dad's side of the family. I don't know who could have sacrificed Blake, um, for life insurance or for his organs or whatever. I don't know. But that was just odd and out of nowhere, you know. Excuse me, for Blake to just, for that to happen, what happened to him. So, like, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2008 that Sean's appendix bursted. And then another time, something happened when Sean was living in those group homes, and another person got killed, got murdered or something. I forgot how. And that biological mom, Frances, was falsely saying that that it happened to Sean. But come to find out, it did not happen to Sean. It happened to somebody in his the group home. Got gruesomely murdered. Excuse me. So you know excuse me. So yeah, so yeah, like um and Sean told me that he told Ramona in 2018 that that he said that something was biting him up and he didn't know about it. I mean, he didn't know what it was, and Ramona kept, getting an attitude with him and blowing him off. And Ramona, Sean even confronted Ramona about treating him like his presence wasn't welcome, or treating him like as if he was not wanted there. But she just wanted to keep him around for the money. I mean, so whatever money she can take from him and take advantage. So I was very happy to find out, for Sean to have his own place and get on his own. Because in 2018, there was a point in time where me and Sean were both homeless on the streets and crossed paths with each other. But eventually, Sean got his own place, and Pete, manipulated for Sean to, act brand new. How they say act brand new, or, you know, act a certain way, a certain kind of funny and big headed and arrogant now that he got his own place. You know, excuse me. So Sean didn't even want me to visit when he got a place on somewhere on Chef Mentor Highway through this place called Start Corp. This organization called Start Corp, in which I recently reached out to them, and they said that that they don't have services in New Orleans anymore. But when I saw my twin sister's so-called ex-boyfriend Tyron, told me that he told me about that he saw Sean, and that Sean, has his own place out in the east. So Sean probably been living at that same place um for so many years. For the past few years, excuse me, but Sean what lies a lot too, but um I don't but I think that he just didn't want me over there. That he lied to me and said that his landlord, won't allow him to have visitors. But you know what? If it might be a special kind of housing, and he might have been telling the truth about it, but he was mean and rude with an attitude about it, you know. And he got mad at me for finding out where he lived at. So that was my only time trying to go over there, and I couldn't even get inside the gate. You know, so and that was in December of 2018, and then after that, Raymond was the last family member that I saw in 2018, and he was trying to, get me to come over by the family for the fake Christmas holidays. You know, Raymond pretended to be a fake peacemaker. Excuse me. So I think the reason why Raymond acted the way he acted the last time, like as if, you know, as if I'm a stranger to him, because I think he got mad, about he probably heard, the rumors, and my twin sister and Wyatt would lie, manipulate, and twist everything, you know, because I hardly even talked much about Raymond or anything like that, you know, but he knows how him and Monica, they know how fucked up their mama is, which is my biological sister Ramona. I don't give a fuck. They know how fucked up she is. But for me to talk about the family being gang stalkers and stuff, um, yeah, they're all mad about that. You shouldn't have narcissistically abused or gang stalked me. I mean, you hated me and I was canceled and muted from the family, like, pretty much ever since getting out of foster care. I was canceled and muted, the black sheep, unwanted, hated, me and Sean. And sometimes they will include my twin sister, and sometimes they will scapegoat her too. And, you know, excuse me. So, I mean, they will switch back and forth between including and scapegoating her. But she probably got fake favoritism with the family because she get more money, the fake military money that she gets, and they're pretending to be fake nice and using her, or they know that she's a perp too and sold out, so they all feel like they got something they can identify with by pretending to, not her, but family members pretend like they're Christian, church going Christians, you know. Excuse me. So, yeah, I didn't even realize poor people can be perps too. But when I told that Lisa Rubian lady in 2015 that Ramona might as well sell her soul to the devil and call it a day with all the evil shit she does. And then Lisa Ruby was like, well, she already sold her soul. Well, both of y'all sold y'all fucking souls. Lisa Ruby, I found out your dirty ways too. You know. So I mean, I didn't even realize that Ramona had already um sold her soul to the devil and is a fucking witch. And Blake was, he was quiet and didn't say much, but Blake was one of the biggest exposers of the witchcraft and the voodoo in the family. About, like, and even and Wyatt used to talk about it, and my twin sister used to talk about it too. Talking about Ramona and the biological mom Frances doing voodoo. But my twin sister smeared me behind my back and lied and said that I do voodoo, and I don't. I don't even know voodoo rituals or anything, and not even interested in learning. And so there had been rumors that the fake foster mom Adrian Felder and the Kraft family practiced voodoo. Like, I even heard that Lanika does voodoo. Excuse me. And I think people were saying that Miss Ollie used to do voodoo, but I'm not sure about, the any of the other Kraft family members. But I heard that, people say that they do witchcraft and voodoo and they're Masonic, you know. But the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, I heard people say that she would practice African voodoo, and that would explain her fascination with African stuff, Cause, excuse me, because she would have all these African voodoo masks like framed pictures of these African voodoo masks all over her house. You know, excuse me. And the foster mom, like she believed in heavily believed in cremation, which is unbiblical. But I'm glad the biological family said that they are against cremation and believe in burial. You know, and the fake Darnell Williams perp would make threats to have me to die and be cremated. And knowing my twin sister would be the type of person abusive enough to copy off the fake foster mom Adrian Felder and following her footsteps to have me cremated against my will. And so the fake foster mom Adrian Felder, she had her husband, the foster dad Al, and her mother, the foster grandma Mildred Collins, to be cremated. You know, excuse me, and I heard certain fake IDMR cult members believe in cremation, but I do not believe in cremation. Like before then, I didn't know any better, but after becoming educated with the Christian living, I heard that cremation is not biblical. So, you know, I would, if I had to die, I would prefer to be buried. But who knows? Me being a homeless Jane Doe, they might feed me as McDonald's to other homeless people. Who knows? Freaking yeah, they might feed me as a McDonald's hamburger. Yeah, human meat in McDonald's. you know, and the fake Darnell Williams perp would harass me all summer long last year, all summer. He would say, he would say, who's gonna claim your body when you die and stuff like that, excuse me, and he made it like as if I was not gonna get to live to see 40. Excuse me. And then the fake Aquarian Doris perp would make it like as if I wouldn't live to see past the year 2024 and that I was gonna die soon. So they had a perp that recently made a remark talking about that I should leave New Orleans and come back to Pensacola or else I will die soon. And then they said the angels at Graffiti Bridge are waiting for you or something like that. And they either make so many death threats or so many death references at me. And like my twin sister laughed about the fake Darnell Williams perp saying that I'm ripe for the sacrifice. But I mean, like in 2021, I really questioned that my twin sister was trying to have me sacrificed. But like throughout the years, people have been telling me that Ramona wants me for a sacrifice. Excuse me, and even Lisa Ruby was the first person to tell me that my family members are a bunch of witches that want to sacrifice me. But then Lisa Ruby was trying to sacrifice me, and I got the hell on out of there. And there was another person that she said her name was Brandy and had a son named Brandon. And I cannot find them. I mean, and she tried to make it like as if Brandy and her son Brandon went into hiding, but she probably sacrificed or killed them and then just, and hid the evidence and then lied and said that, oh, they just went into hiding. Excuse me. So speaking of that, in 2015, before I met Lisa Ruby in person, she was very controlling and abusive and manipulative at trying to police how I should get rid of the bed bugs. And she was trying to love bomb me. And one time she bought me a laptop against my consent. And she was buying me stuff from Amazon Prime and having it sent to my house 2 days later. Stuff that I didn't even ask or tell her to order me. And then she would use that to manipulate and control me. And then once I got down there, she made it like as if she couldn't afford this. She was always bitching about that she couldn't afford this, she couldn't afford that, and stuff like that. And try to force me to just suffer and struggle and be poor. But she was love bombing me as a way to manipulate to get me down to her house. And even, caused me to forfeit. She was the one who manipulated for me to break my damn lease in Los Angeles to come all the way down there, and for her to just freaking spiritually experiment on me, in a fake name of deliverance ministry, and like I didn't realize that a couple of days ago this Asian looking guy that left a few fake comments on my and I didn't even read it all, but he you know lied and said that he been gang stalked for 12 years, and and um and that trying to say that God allowed him to be gang stalked for 12 years. And then he started lecturing me about how I should forgive my gang stalkers and trying to make it like I deserve to be gang stalked as punishment for not forgiving gang stalkers or whatever. And he was saying a whole bunch of other nonsense, and he used the fake New King James Version quote from the Bible. And he said it like, and so I blocked him. So it's like, they try to make it like they have these fake TI perp agents. Some of them pretend to be Christian and make it like as if you deserve to be gang stalked as a result of certain sin in your life, and then try to make it like, oh, I've been delivered from gang stalking. No, motherfucker, you took that perp deal and sold out, and now you're not being gang stalked anymore. And then you pretend that you're righteous and perfect or better than everybody. And then you claim you've been delivered, but you perping the fuck out of people. Excuse me. So, Lisa Ruby, even against my consent, ordered me, bed bug mattress pads and stuff like that when I was living in Los Angeles, and was very controlling and yelling at me and stuff like that. And she tried to treat me like as if I couldn't think for myself. How is it she was rich enough to be able to afford to you know for to buy me laptops and everything. And then once I got down there, she acted like as if she couldn't even afford to buy me any food. And she sent for me to come down there twice. Once in 2015 and once in 2016. And then after that time, me staying by her house, me and her got into that heated argument, and I had to pay like damn near $100 to get a cab to go all the way to Greenville, South Carolina from Travelers Rest. And then I ended up being homeless on the streets for 9 days in an unfamiliar city and state. And so, the first time, like, being homeless on the streets, because back in 2003, I was homeless on the streets for a couple of nights. But back then, shelters were easier to get into. But I think I remember being homeless on the streets for a night or two in 2003. And But but yeah, me being homeless on the streets for 9 days, you know. But I was never homeless on the streets in Denton, Texas. But that was when you were still able to get into shelters. And it's like even homeless shelters seem like prison hell, where you don't even have you pay to live at a certain place, and you don't even get the freedom or the right to choose what food you want to eat. You paying to live in prison in these homeless shelters, and they be bed bug infested. Both the New Orleans mission and the Salvation Army. You wonder how the staff never catch bed bugs, but the residents do. And I caught bed bugs for both places back in 2018. You know, excuse me. So I don't remember what instances where I ended up with bed bugs in Pensacola, and I don't remember if I caught any bed bugs. I don't remember offhand if I caught any bed bugs. Um, you know, from any hotels or motels. But I remember in 2021, after getting that stimulus check, and that lady sent for me to come by her house when I tried to rent a room, and she was a fake Christian perp. Excuse me. And I ended up being bed bug. I mean, having bed bugs. Um, from within a few minutes of being by her house, and then a couple of months later, no, that was the year before, dealing with Janet, I ended up with bed bugs. Now, like all these days of sleep deprivation, and I'm just trying to look for some rest, much needed rest. And one of the first things I like within 5 minutes of laying down, bed bugs just attacking me all in the face. And and even more torture and more exhaustion, you know. And I mean, but I can't think of. And then I think a time or two being on the streets. I think, and there was a homeless man standing in the outdoor soup kitchen line. I caught bed bugs from him, and I had multiple times in Los Angeles catching bed bugs off and on, But excuse me, and you end up like renting a room from somebody, and they always have bed bugs, and then they end up gaslighting. Oh, and I caught a bed bugs from this America's Value Inn and Suites hotel. That hotel in 2019, I caught bed bugs from there. And the man had an attitude and was abusive and rude and kept gaslighting me really bad. And excuse me, and I can't think of any other instances, but one time I think in 2021 or maybe 2022, I don't remember how I caught bed bugs, but quickly got rid of them being homeless on the streets, you know. But then in Cincinnati, I don't think I suffered any bed bugs at all those 2 months of being there. But then in like in Bloomington, I saw some dirty looking perp couple that had bed bugs, and I think I only itched that one night, and I don't remember being bitten up, but I kept on. I already was trying to get rid of gnats and other stuff, and constantly spraying with peppermint oil like at least 3 times a day. Um, Kept on spraying that cabin with peppermint oil because they had bugs and flying insects or whatever galore. Certain flying insects and stuff that I couldn't even really identify or that I never seen before. You know, excuse me, but yeah, they had a few people in Bloomington that that I would see dirty and bed bug infested. But I will never forget this homeless perp was perping with the red shirt. No, I'm sorry, he wasn't homeless. He was a very clean looking guy, and he was perping with the red shirt, and he had a deceitful looking smile on his face. And I think I got off the blue line train and got on a green line train in Los Angeles one of those years, and he hugged me, and then I ended up. He had bed bugs and bed bug eggs and everything, and I think I remember he was perping with the red, and he out of nowhere hugged me and caught me off guard, and I ended up with a bad bed bug infestation. And on me and my twin sister's 32nd birthday in 2015, I told y'all about that lady that looked identical to the fake foster mom Adrian Felder from the side and the back view, but she sat next to me and she was bed bug infested and trapped me and refused to let me and she was trying to provoke me to hit her, and she refused to let me switch seats or move, and she kept ignoring me, and the bitch wouldn't even let me see her face. But she had like the same skin. I think her skin color was a little bit lighter, but she had the exact same hair as the fake foster mom Adrian Felder, and they had like the same features, but I couldn't even see the front of her face, and she wore glasses. And so she like ruined my 32nd birthday. And I was wondering why she did that evil shit to me. I didn't realize she was a perp, but she was wearing like blue and white. And on me and my twin sister's 30, 35th birthday in 2018, it was the day before. I caught bed bugs from the fake Salvation Army shelter, and the bed bugs were biting me all in my face, aggressively biting me, like vicious hate anger, just biting me, all in my face. You know, um, aggressive, mean bites. You know, and I was forced to have to leave in the middle of the night and leave out of there. And then I went to Harris Casino and would be there every night for like until they wrongfully banned me from there, discriminating against homeless people. And and then that was before I went to the Grand Canyon, you know, and it's like I kept on getting bed bugs back to back in 2018 that they were a very hard fight to get rid of. Excuse me. So, and then, me being back in New Orleans, like October and November, I was all right. But then December, after a DoorDash order, with me ordering, certain, not like food, but like some non-food items, like hygiene or whatever stuff. And the DoorDash driver, I didn't even get to see what the person looked like. And I mistakenly thought it was from the hotel, but it wasn't from the hotel. It was from the DoorDash driver, you know. Excuse me. And then when I was staying at a hotel out in the east, I didn't have bed bugs. But I caught it from a DoorDash driver. But and this was like in March, right after the jail situation. And I was able to quickly get rid of that. And then I think one day I ended up with bed bug bites that lasted like one day, being in one of those hotel rooms at a different hotel It was either March or April, but I quickly got rid of them. And then another time, it was a um I think it was the Uber Eats driver that um gave me bed bugs, but like it just lasted a couple of days. I was able to battle them off. And here, last night I mean yesterday afternoon I ended up, being attacked by bed bugs, and it had to be from the DoorDash driver. You know, so I'm sorry to burden y'all with like another extra video. It's 5:06 a.m. in the morning. Um, you know, and yeah, I mean when you end up with bed bugs, being tortured by bed bugs and stuff, you end up losing a night of sleep. You know, and so like I told y'all and I showed y'all about the online perps, making fake bad reviews on me and saying that they would make up lies and say that I come from laying at different spots, being homeless on the streets, and they lie and say that I bring bed bugs to these hotels, and I don't. You know, um, but if I like in the case in 2021 with that fake homeless, I'm sorry, that fake Christian lady where I rented a room and she was perping with the red and pretended to be Christian and throwing up satanic hand signs, and she stole my money. I couldn't even get my money back, and I ended up. I mean, the only way to for me to get rid of the bed bugs, I had to go to the hotel, and I cleaned and sanitized and kept spraying, and eventually got rid of, the bed bugs. So I have to have a place where I can shower and do laundry and, you know, and keep clean and everything. Um, excuse me. So, but I'm gonna battle and overcome, you know, the bed bug attack. That's not my fault. I'm a battle and overcome it. And just like whatever sickness I'm suffering, I have confidence that I'm gonna battle and overcome that too. Um, so I apologize for two longer videos, almost back to back, that I did a few hours ago last night, and now I'm doing another video because of being like, you know, my anxiety is really high and I'm frustrated and upset. But as I said, that's more money I have to spend, to freaking battle to get rid of these fuckers. You know, um Now I've heard stories about gang stalkers deliberately planting bed bugs onto a target. And a more gruesome story I heard, I'm not gonna mention it because the perps, they will try to weaponize that against me, so I'm gonna be quiet about that one. But it was very horrifying. So um but I'm gonna go for now. Thanks for listening to me. I'll see y'all later on.